it's when you have that objective and when you achieve something, that's when, at least for a period of time, that suffering goes away. And so you go from a state of suffering to non-suffering. And so you experience that contrast. That's where the happiness comes in.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't have an objective, I guess the objective is to find an objective. And if you don't work on it, then it's just a state of suffering.
Then you unhappy, though? All right, welcome back to Yamcha Sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Today, for context, it's Friday, the 22nd of March. The time right now is 9:21 p.m. The weather is cloudy, hazy, whatever you want it to be.
It's a little bit hot.
But it's getting hot. Malaysia, we have quite a number of seasons. But what's hot right now is a topic that we'll be talking today. Joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, once again, is the all-time favorites. We have MJ, Jenny right here. MJ got. It's not Jenny lah, but that's how I call it.
By the way,
yeah.
you don't say it's a Friday.
It's a Friday. Also, ladies and gentlemen, it's a Friday night. And
you
also,
know, you know.
And also we have, I can't say his old name, but today we have Ani Kari, no, it's joking. Ani Kira with us as well.
Ani Kira.
All right, man. Cool. Sure.
I always call him Ani Kari, but
90% correct.
That's my new name. That's better for people not to know.
correct. Hey, we remove that. Sorry. Okay, but for real, his name is Vincent. It's a cool dude. And so today, Vincent, what are we doing?
So recently, a lot of people have seen this viral news that has been going around, covered by a lot of newspaper articles, websites, Malaysia Food and Travel, and it is about how Malaysia is being ranked as the 5th happiest country in the world. Only Southeast Asian country in top 10. Now, we're not going to go deeper into the what this ranking really is about, but we're trying to get what the people are feeling, because usually people look at all these things, they might get into just judging on it on a surface level. So before we get into the details, let's talk about it, and I'm going to ask you guys. So, what's your opinion, guys? Do you think that we are deserving of being the 5th happiest country in the world?
MJ, you go first, MJ.
Are you happy?
So I think most people who read this will react negatively, because they will look at their own lives and see how much their life sucks. Maybe they're not earning enough. Maybe they have to go through traffic jam. Maybe they look at the political situation. So they take all this and say, hey, how can you say we are the 5th happiest country in the world? I think that, I don't know how they did this test. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, because funny enough, another survey or report showed that we are the 59th. So it's like, who do you believe, right?
Yeah, we're going to go deeper into it. So based on what you mentioned, you just basically talk about the things that people could be unhappy about.
I think the general reaction, especially among maybe more urbanites, maybe non-Malays, I see is one of skepticism, and they're like, well, it's a BS report,
What do you
Honestly,
think?
right, like when MJ told me about this, right, my first reaction is, what the fuck? Sorry about the profanity to the guy who commented about that. But my first reaction was like, what? Really, man? But then now, right, when I think about it, right, if I remove certain aspect of life, of what we have to do every day, right, actually, I'm generally pretty happy. Just to add on to MJ's point, right, you guys can also agree to it. If you remove traffic jam, you remove the problem that you face at work, pretty cool. You're pretty chill. I don't see any reason to be upset. Unless, of course, if you're still upset, that is probably because of the things that you didn't do and you put yourself into a situation. Because I don't believe that the world is going to put you in a very difficult situation, The world is just the world. If you put yourself in a situation and then you're not happy, then you're like, fuck you, world. No, that's your fault right there,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just curse again.
I actually put out an Instagram story in response to that article, saying that, enough time has passed. If you're unhappy, it's either you're unlucky or you suck.
Correct.
But going back to what you're saying, that you feel that you're quite happy.
I'm pretty cool, yeah.
But what do you think about other people? Okay, so let me read some of the comments, right? This is from the Malaysia Food and Travel page, because it's easier to find comments. So then somebody says, then why I'm not feeling happy?
Because you didn't do the thing that you need to do to make it be happy, lah. You have the choice to be happy, right? You have the choice to be happy, right? Like if someone say mean thing to you, right? Okay, you feel hurt, lah. But you have the choice to just let it go and just understand lah. But feelings can be very subjective lah, But if you're not happy the state of where you were born or whatever, right? You have the choice to make a change. But if you're still in that, it's either you're doing the wrong thing or you're unlucky.
Wait, let's define happiness then.
Yeah.
What is happiness for all of us?
Well, I think everybody.
Typically, it's if you achieve, like you have a vision of what your life should be, and you're quite close to that vision. I would say that is happiness.
Well, I feel like when somebody looks at this kind of post and say that we are the happiest, and if we are, people who are commenting as people somewhere around our age, they're most likely going to see their current life and ask themselves, are they happy or not? And usually it's like, am I happy with the country? Am I happy with my job? Am I happy with my boss? Am I
Yeah.
happy with raising my kids and all this kind of stuff? I maybe that's what they're talking about, cost of living.
I would generally say that the people who are commenting, maybe most of the people, are maybe those people who are executive levels or below,
That they are not happy.
that they are not happy.
Exactly. So these are T20 well-earning people who are
yeah.
less happy.
Correct.
Interesting.
Or maybe, like if you are really earning well enough, right? Meaning to say you have, provided that you worked hard for it, not that you're given it, but even if you're given it, you still need to work hard to maintain it, All right? You have generally gotten yourself to have some discipline to ensure you have gotten there. And when you have discipline, means you have habits. And then when you have this kind of things, that you'll be able to do things that will generally give yourself some happiness and some free time, instead of just going through the 9 to 5 or whatsoever. At least that's what I feel like. The majority of comments are mostly people who are
Educated urbanites who are probably in the top half of earners in Malaysia. I think, building on my point about happiness, if you can put it in an equation, is basically reality minus expectation. So if the reality is always higher than expectation, then you always be happy.
correct.
Now, reality is something that you can probably control less, right? But expectation is something that you can control a lot more. And I think for a lot of people who are not happy in Malaysia, even on a relative scale to other countries, I believe part of it is expectation. And so, because this is comparing to other countries, one exercise I would urge Malaysians to consider is to ask yourself, like transport yourself to all our neighboring countries or any country in the world, right? How many countries do you think that if you were there, you would be happier?
I don't know, man. A lot of people, like my friends say, oh, I want to go like US, I want to go Singapore, whatsoever. You put aside the other countries, okay? You go US, I can tell you for a fact, like you want to come back to Malaysia. Of course, you live there, it's pretty cool, right?
Wait, did you say you want to come back to Malaysia?
I have friends who stay there, they're pretty happy. I have also friends who stay there, they want to come back. But the things that I feel like Malaysia have so much more benefits compared to US, is like our healthcare, like it's so expensive to die there.
Yeah. To be sick, actually.
Yeah, it is so bad, and we have so much more freedom. Of course, you're comparing our cost of living. The living there is also different as well.
Better in the state, but the big cities.
And then you go Singapore as well. You're earning SGD, that's usually the people's first comment when your friends go Singapore. But what you guys don't know is the cost of living there is so quite high. You want to earn a damn bloody room, it's like 800-900 SGD.
No, 1,500 without toilet.
God damn it, bro, I'm being very generous. So you don't understand the difference. Then when you found out, then you're like, oh, actually, I quite chill in Malaysia. My PV12, $500 only. Oh, then you're like, cool. It comes back to his point, your expectations is there. And also because I personally feel like, even myself, when I didn't do more research, maybe the audiences as well, you didn't do enough research outside to understand that. And then because you don't understand, then you just, ini tak boleh.
Yeah.
And then you throw out there. So that's why, even like for me earlier, when my first comment was like, oh my God, what kind of crap? Then when I really think about it and then listen to you guys, actually there are some truth to that. If I put out a lot of things right. Like even right now, I'm pretty happy because I went to work earlier. I finished my work. I came back home. Then I eat with you guys. Then I'm talking to you guys. I'm pretty chill. I didn't have to go through all the hassles and everything. I went through a jam earlier. That made me unhappy.
I think Malaysians have this tendency of saying things that they may not 100% feel. You know, like for example, they may say that, okay, why I don't feel happy? I think maybe this report is false. But actually, when they go back, they still find some happiness in the simplest things of life. Because I think Malaysia, there are a lot of things to be happy about, really. Like, one, you wake up, comfortable weather. Weekends, you can go out and have fun. And we have a lot of facilities, entertainment enough around for you to have fun. You have somewhat a certain level of freedom of speech as long as you don't touch a certain things. You still get a job, but even though, you know, for some folks, you know, even though you might not get a high paying job, but there's a lot of gig economy opportunity out there. So I think a lot of Malaysians will probably say things like, I don't feel happy. I may not 100% agree, but actually when they go back to their life, you know, after commenting, they'll probably be like, hee ha ha with their colleagues, you know, family, watch a movie and something like that.
Yeah, and it's not a hyper competitive society.
Yeah.
So it's not like a Singapore, Japan, Korea. Yeah, they earn more, but the real hack is to earn more with the same kind of work. Otherwise, actually, no point one. Because when you say that I don't mind taking on more stress, if it means I earn more income, or what you're essentially saying is that your time and your mental health is not as important as the money that you make. And I feel like in Malaysia, there are many diverse paths that you can take. Let's say if you wanted to be rich, there's a path for that. If you wanted to chill and just be someone on the beach, you can do that as well. I think many countries don't have this option. You can't do this in Singapore. Like in Singapore, if you want to climb the corporate ladder and earn your way, there's a path for that. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, not so easy as Malaysia's market is small. I mean, some people can succeed, but it's hard. Government gets involved so much in their lives. But if you wanted to be a surfer, if you just wanted to be chill, that is not made available to you. But then if you go to Thailand, right, if you know, tourism sector is very big there. So, you know, if you want that life, it's there. But then because of their inability to speak English, so it's harder for them to have international exposure. I think business-wise, they might be okay, right? Yeah. But Malaysia is like a sweet in between where you can pretty much design your life after a certain point of income. The only thing you can't really do in Malaysia is to be a world beater. Like if you want to be absolutely top in the world at something, very, very difficult. I mean, yes, we have the Lee Chong Weis, we have the Nicole Davids of this world. We are number one in some aspect, but I think the society is not set up to have Malaysia dominate one thing globally, right? For that to happen, right, you have to go through the route of, let's say, a Korea, where the entire government will support just a handful of companies like Samsung, LG, Hyundai, whatever, the chaebols, right? And give them all the resources and all the benefits. And in return, these chaebols will put Korea on the world stage. But then what is the knock-on effect? The knock-on effect is big income inequality. These guys get so rich and majority of the population sort of wither away and they can't really afford rent, things like that.
Yeah, but I agree with what you're saying, like Malaysia is the sweet spot. And you mentioned something about mental health. And this is where we're going to get into what the ranking is really about. I know some of you guys, because this is not a recent news, it's been quite some time. I know some of you guys are dying to let us know.
2-3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and some of you guys are watching right now are dying to let us know that, yeah, you got to check out the report. Yes, we did check out the report. And now we're going to get into it. Now, that list is based on a report about mental state of the world. What? That's how they determine that Malaysia is the 5th happiest country based on mental state of the world. Now, here's something interesting. The countries that are in the list above Malaysia and, you know, for the countries that is below Malaysia is the top one, Dominican Republic, followed by Sri Lanka, Tanzania, Panama, then Malaysia. Now, finally, what's the 6th happiest country? Nigeria. Venezuela. Isn't Venezuela the country that has like massive...
I think that the big issue I have here is Venezuela and Sri Lanka. These two countries are in a mess. So I doubt the report because on that basis.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, follow after Venezuela is El Salvador. I don't know too much about Costa Rica and Uruguay, but it seems like those countries that's listed as like top 10 happiest seems to be quite poor.
It's quite sus lah. I mean, I really need to understand how they did the report. This is like doing a thesis.
All right, so this is where I can answer you. So the report is by a non-profit neuroscience research organization. All right, you guys can look it up yourself. they polled 420,000 individuals. So it's not that many.
Bro, that-
420.
That's 0.025% of the population.
Correct. Okay, all right. From 71 countries. So that means out of the whole 71 countries in the world, they only asked 420,000 people, less than 420,000, but it's
Then
about
again,
there.
in a thesis, a focus group, you can take 20 and then you can come up with the results also. So maybe the number is justifiable, you know?
Okay, all right.
You know?
So here's something that we can discuss. All right, so this poll assesses 47 aspects of mental health, or it could be classified into 6 categories: mood and outlook, social self, drive and motivation, and the rest. So I guess maybe we can like tackle not all of the categories, but some of the categories. Mood and outlook. Well,
What's outlook?
I don't know.
How they look, is it?
Outlook on things, outlook in life.
Okay, I see.
Do you think Malaysians have a positive outlook in life?
Yes.
I think so.
Because they always say, can one la, chill la.
I think compared to Japanese and Koreans, Malaysians' outlook are quite okay. At least we don't look forward to die, you know.
Oh, definitely, bro. I mean, put aside the special cases, I don't think we all look forward to die. In fact, we look forward for Friday night.
Okay, so as Malaysians, MJ, what's your outlook in life? How are you happy with it?
I mean, generally, I'm more, I guess you can say, optimistic. I mean, I like to call myself a realist first and foremost. Right? I want to know like what's real rather than, talk about a mood, right? But I think what's realistic, especially in the Malaysian context, is to be optimistic because Malaysia is in a very interesting spot. Like if you look at the economy, of course people complain about ringgit and all that. But what people don't realize is because of our location, we are actually very valuable to both like China and the US. Right? We get a lot of
Resources.
business from them, essentially. And of course, with Singapore down south, we also get, part of the, guess what, when our ringgit depreciates, right, it becomes more attractive for a lot of these companies to come in. So we are seeing that in some key sectors like the E&E sector in Malaysia, which is the largest export sector. So on one hand, there are a lot of people complaining about rising cost of living and stuff like that, mainly because they are in industries where either the dynamic is sort of stagnating or decline, or they are not providing enough value that they are stagnating. But I know people in the E&E sector, for example, who can't even pick up my phone call for weeks, right? Why? Is it them being rude? No, it's because they're so busy starting up new plants. There'll be, last time, 10, 20 years ago, right, there's only one technology park, you can say. I mean, excluding the failed Cyberjaya, right? In Penang, you have, places like Batu Kawan and all that. That was a place where, tech companies would go and build up, right? That tech park is even bigger now. Within Penang, there are new projects to build more tech parks. But here's the thing. That is true for Malacca. That is true for places like Tanjung Maling, places in Kedah. That's also coming up. Places like Johor, data centers and all that. So all these things are happening and there are many people benefiting from this. And I think if you're Malaysian, the question you have to ask is, why am I not being exposed to these industries?
That's a good one.
Because, an economy can be bad, but the economy is made out of many sectors. So your job is to be in the right industry or at least expose yourself to it, right? So if you're not earning enough and you are being impacted by the ringgit depreciation, then you're worried about political stability. It means that you have not chosen to do something that is quite immune to these external factors. And more important than being immune is to actually create a situation where you take advantage of this.
Okay. Well, there's this one part where it says, "What's your drive and motivation?" That's one of the category that they are assessing as well in this poll to determine whether we're happy or not. Drive and motivation. So, okay, our drive and motivation, we can go into it later on. Whether people are, taking advantage of that opportunity and all. But I think if we go back to outlook, right, compared to other nationalities, I think Malaysians are definitely much more positive.
Yeah.
Which is the same as what MJ is, more optimistic. Like, for example, if you go to Singapore, right,
Yeah, it's complaining every day.
they're complaining every day. I think Taiwanese people are complaining every day as well. They complain about how their infrastructure is not good. Hong Kong people, Hong Kong people are quite bad as well.
I mean, there's like big China there looking down on them,
Yeah.
reading down their necks,
And
Japan, Korea also.
And if you take a look at European countries like
bad.
that's even worse. So if you take all these countries that we are always eyeing to go and travel, that we always see like, wow, they are better than us, the people there are quite miserable.
Traveling there is fine. Yeah, it might be different unless you reach.
Yeah, I don't know about traveling to Paris now.
I heard they're racist. Are they? Yeah,
No,
right?
I mean now it's just filled with so many social problems of immigrants coming in. But before that, you already can tell that their mood is like not very positive.
Stay in Malaysia, guys. The best place to stay.
All right. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to drive and motivation then. Since MJ just now you were talking about like whether are you exposing yourself to it. Now, why not I hear from you? Do you think that Malaysians are actively trying to succeed in life, get every opportunity there is?
Oh wow, I would say maybe no lah.
Not
But
really.
that's just in my point of view. I'm not really sure about the two of you guys here. But when I look around, I see at people and I think I see that most of them have lack of drive and motivation. Most of them just want to survive, do their life, go back home, just chill. And maybe that's why that particular people think this survey is crap. I'm not very sure. Like if you put yourself into a spot that enables you to have the drive and motivation, right, then you will see some sort of changes in your daily lifestyle. At least that's what I would perceive. Just adding to MJ's point of reality and expectation.
So let's just say somebody who is working in a 9 to 6 or 9 to 8,
Okay.
stuck in a work, in that person's opinion, it's like, I'm actually working as hard as I can, or I can, or maybe not like super hard, but how do I then have drive?
I would say that it's good to work hard, but you should work hard to be working smart.
Okay. Okay.
Like if you work hard to work hard, in the end, you're making someone else happy.
So if somebody who is like working in an office job, they work hard, you go through one whole year of cycle.
Cool.
Then when it comes to assessment, appraisal, and they didn't do much, they didn't get much, but they are driven in a way.
I mean, they're driven. That's why you should use your drive to build and focus on yourself. Instead of that, if your goal is to climb out the company rank, then of course you need to come up with a proper planning, right? But if your goal is to make more money, then if you have 1 year, if you use your drive for something else, like if you live in reality, right? Like if you work in corporate world, you know how difficult is it to climb out the corporate world. Okay, it's going to be hard, it's going to be politics and everything. Chances are you can't even go up there unless the person up there resign. This is how it is,
They like you.
Or they don't like you. Like, oh, I don't like this guy. It's Joe for you, bro, I mean, if you have that drive to work 9 to 5, I can tell you for a fact, if you channel that drive into something else, you can be much more better than that.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys.
Goddamn.
Do you think you'll be more happier if you don't have drive? And maybe that's why Malaysia is ranked.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't think.
No way.
I think you need drive. You need you need the drive to be happy. If not, means you're just.
Yeah, you
stone.
need to pursue something.
Even the movie Pursuit of Happiness, brother.
So I mean, I follow this guy quite a lot called Naval Ravikant, right? And he say that human beings tend to avoid suffering, and then he said the reason people suffer is because they have something that they have not achieved. But here's the thing: without that thing that they want, the objective, the suffering that you experience, right, will never be solved. Okay? Because it's when you have that objective and when you achieve something, that's when, at least for a period of time, that suffering goes away. And so you go from a state of suffering to non-suffering. And so you experience that contrast. That's where the happiness comes in.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't have an objective, I guess the objective is to find an objective. And if you don't work on it, then it's just a state of suffering.
Then you unhappy, lo?
So I guess that is where it should be. And most human beings need they need a cause on. That's why, in societies that, let's say, remove religion or whatever, it's not like they suddenly become meaningless or they just are nothing. They just sort of find a new religion, right? Europe kicked Christianity out, so they replace it with veganism, feminism, environmentalism, whatever new ism that they have, gender equality, whatever. There's always something new that I think human beings need. And so if you do not have that objective, that target, right, you will not feel good, I would say.
No G, bro. Unhappy.
Right. Well, there are other things that we could possibly explore, but I think it pretty much spells what we needed to talk about in this topic. So maybe, I guess, to wrap this up, let's talk about, let's ask ourselves, what are some things that you feel makes you happy then?
Wow. Okay, I'll go first. Gym. I think going to the gym. I mean, don't really need to go gym. Exercising really helps you guys not to be unhappy. Right? I can give you guys like a paragraph on how does it help, but it gives you discipline, and from discipline it creates a lot of things, and you guys should try out that. If you guys can watch half an hour of Netflix, I'm sure you can go and jog for half an hour. Who knows, man? Have a purpose, like when you wake up, know what you want, All right. And if you see the survey and your first reaction is I am not happy, maybe you should go to a blackboard and write why. Then you list down why. And then from there, maybe you know how you can be much more happier. Because honestly, you guys are quite happy, I can tell you. If you guys go to Mama, you chill with your friends, you laugh, you are happy, right? It's just that because of your Monday to Friday daily routine, not even habits, routine. You must wake up 9 o'clock, go work, come back home 5 o'clock, that's why you're unhappy. Actually, that's not really unhappiness. You just probably don't have a purpose.
All right, MJ, what about you?
I think one thing that helps is to set challenging but realistic goals or objectives. So as I mentioned earlier on, right, like happiness is expectations, reality minus expectations. More specifically, it's going from a state of suffering and then moving into non-suffering or happiness when that thing is being achieved. So if you, the problem is people are like in the extreme. So on one extreme, you have people who set no goals, so they are forever unhappy, right? Then you've got the other extreme where they set goals that are
too many,
so high that no matter how hard they try, they never hit. And so they are sort of like two sides of the same coin. Like they achieve the same, they achieve the same state, which is unhappiness, but in different ways. So to give a concrete example, for myself would be, I think I mentioned in previous podcast that I'm writing a book, right? And when I started out, I have a personal target of hitting 50 to 60,000 words, which is a lot. And so because I've never written a book before, my mindset was, all right, I'm going to pick one day, I'm going to feel the day, I'm going to go ham, right? I'm going to go hours writing, 4,000 or 5,000 words, I'm going to go for it. So let's say I aim 5,000 words, right? Then in my head, I'm like, 5,000 words, I want to hit 50K words or 60K words, that's 12 days. I can finish the book in 12 days. Okay? So I did that. Then I realized in hour number 2, I'm already like the mind is already wandering in the,
Writer's block,
Yeah, writer's block. The
Burn
juice
out.
is no
dry,
more.
bro. It's dry.
Dry, right?
Yeah, dry.
And I'm only at 1,008 words or 2,002 words. Then I'm like, then I start to feel bad. And then because of that, going through that struggle process, I set the expectation too high and then I don't achieve it. So then I'm unhappy. And guess what? I don't look forward to writing the next line. I'll be like, I just want to avoid it. I don't want to feel that feeling anymore. So what then I realized was, hey, what if I set myself a target of 1,000 words? No less, but no more.
That's pretty good.
So no more is as important as no less. In other words, if I feel that I can write more than 1,000 or maybe 1,002 words, I still need to stop. So the minute I did that, so last time when I did that old method of 5,000 words, I would spend 1 out of 10 days writing, 1 out of 2 out of 10 days writing. But then since shifting to this 1,000 to let's say 1,005 words a day, out of 7 days, I hit 5 to 6 days of writing.
Very
And
nice.
straight away, funny enough, net, I speed up. I speed up by doing less.
Yeah. It's
Every
about
day.
being consistent,
Right,
having a
why?
routine. Yeah.
Sometimes
Right.
less is more.
Because I lower the expectation, But then it's still a bit challenging to write 1,000. 1,000 words is like an essay, right? Or like a blog post. So I'm basically writing one blog post every single day. And so I slowly inch. But because I inch and I cross the bar of 1,000 every day, I feel like satisfied. Like, okay, I got this. It's not joy or anything, but a little bit of happiness. So that kind of compounds. And then before I know it, I'm at 60 over K words right now. I haven't finished the book.
Nice.
So there's more for me to write.
Yeah. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I agree with what both you guys are saying, and also live a little bit on those things that you guys mentioned, gym, and as well as setting up a goal. I guess I'm gonna just offer a simpler take to wrap this up. I guess for some reason, every week I wake up, and if I can spend some time with my loved one to go eat like champing,
Yeah.
kaya toast, I feel that's pretty good. And
Yes,
then
sure.
still having a drive to go fulfill whatever you want.
Friday night podcast.
Friday night podcast.
Because it's Friday night. So thanks guys for watching. I mean, let us know lah if you guys are unhappy. Are you really unhappy? And then
Come on, bring on the negativity.
yeah, just bring on negativity, man. We love the comments, bro. MJ is our top number one commenter. It's like, oh really? I love it. Don't forget to hit and like and subscribe. 70% of you guys are not subscribed. Don't ask where I get the information from. Right, but I just like that number. So please click subscribe because one subscribe is one life saved. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Yeah,
We're good. I think it's like 40 minutes.